before they reach the river's edge. We scream into the open sky, but the sky is hollow. Memory is a ghost that fades when the sun turns red. So I trap the ghost in the river's bed. Silence bleeds into the clay, wet and heavy. Stop the time, freeze the breath of the dead. Make the mud speak when my tongue is heavy. Flesh rots, bones turn to white dust, but this square of earth remembers the dead. A scratch for a goat, a scratch for the trust, a cage for the words we haven't spoken yet. So I trap the ghost in the river's bed. Silence bleeds into the clay, wet and heavy. Stop the time, freeze the breath of the dead. Make the mud speak when my tongue is heavy.
holding up the weight of the kings, weaving the chaos into straight lines, capture the flight of invisible wings. Line after line, wedge after wedge, wedge after
color from your eyes. The sand eats the footprints of a week. But I found a canvas that never dies, a mountain tongue that learns to speak. Deep in the granite vein, I carve a name that outlives the rain. Flesh is grass, but the rock remains. In the granite vein, clay will crumble when the waters rise. Papyrus burns when the fires start. But the chisel strikes where the secret lies, beating a rhythm in the stone's black heart. Deep in the granite veins, I carve a name that outlives the rain. Flesh is grass, but the rock remains. Deep in the granite veins, deep in the granite veins. Let the wind blow for 1,000 years. Let the skin turn to dust and bone. My voice is locked where no one hears, until they read the stone. Until they read the stone. Grass, but the rock remains. Deep in the granite vein, it remains. It remains. shadows dance on the wall. Not just a sound, but a vision of all. Read the feather, read the eye. Magic written across the sky. Shadows dance on the wall. Not just a sound, but a vision of all. Read the feather, read the eye. Magic written across the sky. Thought is laughing in the ink, pouring wisdom for us to drink. Don't just listen, look and see. The image sets the spirit free. Shadows dance on the wall. Not just a sound, but a vision of all. Read the feather, read the eye. Magic written across the sky. The eye opens, the bird flies.
Rows of shelves in the dark of the temple, clay tablets sleeping like soldiers in lines.
We are the keepers of the law and the example, harvesting grapes from the history vines. The king may hold the sword of gold, but we hold the truth that will be told. He rules the land, we rule the tide. Welcome to the with a carved out face. I have no voice until I leave my trace. A little cylinder hanging on a string. I am the signature of the merchant king. Roll it out across the wet brown earth. Roll it out, prove what you are worth. My name is a circle that never ends, signed in the life that the river sends, rolling the name. 5 jars of oil and a stack of wool. Keep the promise when the moon is full. The thief may lie with a tongue of snakes, but the clay never sleeps and the clay never fades. Roll it out across the wet brown earth. Roll it out, prove what you are worth. My name is a circle that never ends, signed in the life that the river sends, rolling the name. When I am gone and my bones are dry, this little roller will testify that I stood here and I made a deal under the sun with a heart of steel. Across the wet brown earth, roll it out, prove what you are worth. My name is a circle that never ends, signed in the life that the river sends, rolling the name. Keep on rolling, don't break the seal. Yeah. Black stone fingers fingers hold you down, 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 down. This ain't sick. If a man put out the eye of another man, 19 same. If he break another man's bone, 200. If a man knock out the teeth of his equal, justice is blind, but it sees everything. For a tooth, written in by a brutal truth. Bone for a bone, life for a life. The law is a surgeon with a heavy knife. Basalt fingers hold you down, 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 down. The stone remains. The law remains. Big brother's waiting at the schoolhouse gate with a stick in his hand and a frown on his face. Welcome to the eat up of the miserable place. My hand hurts, my eyes are blurred. Copy the signs, yes sir, no sir. Trapped in a cage of clay and dust, learning the words because we must. I wanna break the tablet. Your wedges too messy, your lines aren't straight. I get the cane before I even ate. Learn some Mary, yeah, learn a caddy and two, while the birds are flying in the heavy blue. My head hurts, my eyes are blurred. Copy the signs, yes sir, no sir. Trapped in a cage of clay and dust, learning the words because we must. I wanna break the tablet. I wanna break the tablet. I wanna break it. Father pays the teacher with a jar of wine just to keep the whip off this back of mine. But one day I'll be the scribe of the king and I won't write a single damn thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Writing lists of cows, lists of wood. Being a scribe is supposed to be good. I'd rather be a bricklayer in the sun, but my father says the schooling's never done. My hand hurts, my eyes are blurred. Copy the signs, yes sir, no sir. Trapped in a cage of clay and dust, learning the words because we must. I wanna break the tablet. I wanna break it. Smash the clay, smash the day. School's out forever. The Nile floods, the water goes down. Green shoots rising all around the town. But before you eat and before you pray, just need the sign, converting your labor into divine design. Turn the wheat into a number, turn the barley into gold, while the farmers work in slumber. The story of the wealth is told. It's the golden harvest count. Count it up, write it down. Oh, yeah. Reality is messy, reality is raw, but on the clay it's the perfect law. If it isn't written, it doesn't exist. Everything is captured in the scribe's Granaries are full, the seals are tight. We sleep on a mountain of numbers tonight. Who owns the field? Who owns the rain? Ask the accountant to explain the pain. Wait it to a number, turn the valley into gold, while the farmers work in slumber. The story of the wealth is told. It's the golden harvest count. Count it up, write it down. More grain, more gold. Stack it up, write it down. Write it down.
My brother, the sun, king of the great land. I am riding from the edge of the shifting sand. 7 times I fall at your feet, 7 times more, but the shadows are lengthening at my door. Can you hear my voice in the dry clay? I am screaming from a world away. Send me chariots, send me gold, before the fire turns completely cold. Words across the dunes. The messenger takes months to cross the waste, carrying my fear with a deliberate haste. By the time you read this, I might be gone, just a name erased by the coming dawn. Can you hear my voice in the dry clay? I am screaming from a world away. Send me chariots, send me gold, before the fire turns completely cold. Words across the dunes. Why are you silent? Why do you wait? Ink is the blood of the desperate state. I am your servant, I am your son. Don't let me be the forgotten one. Don't let me be forgotten. Can you hear my voice in the dry clay?
I am screaming from a world away. Set me chariots, set me gold before the fire turns completely cold. Words across the dunes. Seven times I fall. 7 times I fall. At your feet. Build a boat, tear down the house. The gods are whispering, quiet as a mouse. The winds are gathering to drown the plain, right in the terror, in the falling rain. 6 days and 7 nights, the tempest blew. The world turned to clay, the sky turned to blue. But I held the stylus and I held the breath, cheating the water and cheating the death. The deluge stone, the stories of eyes, floating above 1,000 lives. The raven flies and the
bridegroom dear to my heart. The gods have crafted your beauty like art. Your eyes are the morning, your words are the wine. I capture this feeling in a rigid line. There is honey in the clay tonight, sweetness preserved in the fading light. Thousands of years may drift away, but my love is locked in the honey and clay.
You are the letters planted by the stream. You are the vision inside the dream. Let the scribe write down what the lover feels before the time breaks the chariot wheels. There is honey in the clay tonight, sweetness preserved in the fading light. Thousands of years may drift away, but my love is locked
In the honey and clay.
touch me, tell me.
The words are soft, but the stone is hard.
I am
Playing the song of the bard for a ghost who hasn't been born yet to remember what we might forget. There is honey in the clay tonight, sweetness preserved in the fading light. Thousands of years may drift away, but my love is locked in the honey and clay.
the beloved, honey in the clay.
Sweetness.
I stand before the double truth, stripped of my skin, stripped of my youth. I hold the scroll tightly in my hand, a paper boat for the sinking sand. It's the map of the underworld, where the serpent is calling girl. Spells of ink to fight the beast, walking west to find the east. Read the words or lose your soul. I have not stolen, I have not lied, I Osiris ways, open the mind. Anubis ways, open the eye. The crocodile waits for the one who lies. Speak the name of the gatekeeper, speak it right. It's the map of the underworld, where the serpent is coiled and curled. Spells of ink to fight the beast, walking west to find these. Read the words or lose your soul. The gate opens, I pass through.
Covered in mud like a pig. The mason is breaking his back for a gig. The washerman lives with the crocodiles, but I'm just sitting here counting the miles. I got ink under my fingernails, writing down your epic fails. My back is bent like a river, planting the word like a poison seed. It's a dirty job, but I'm the king. I don't have to lift a single thing. Single thing. I got ink under my fingernails, writing down your epic fails. My back is bent like a river, replanting the word like a poison seed. It's a dirty job, but I'm the king. I don't have to lift a single thing. Be a scribe, my father said, it saves you from toil, he said. But this stylus is heavier than a shovel, and this library is just a prison, under my fingernails, writing down your epic fail. a poison seed. It's a dirty job, but I'm the king. Ink, mud, blood, whatever. The gates are breached, the walls are down. The enemies are burning the golden town. They run to the palace with torches in hand to erase the memory of the land. Burn the library, burn it all. Watch the history turn and fall. But the fire is a fool, the fire is a friend, making the clay harder in the end. Fire and Nineveh. They think they are killing the words of the wise, turning the truth into smoke in the skies. But soft clay bakes into ceramic stone, a library of brick standing alone. Burn the library, burn it all. Watch the history turn and fall. But the fire is a fool, the fire is a friend, making the clay harder in the end. Fire and What was soft becomes hard. What was weak becomes strong. The heat of the hate, preserve the sun. Preserve the sun. Burn the library, burn it all. Watch the history turn and fall. But the fire is a fool, the fire is a friend, making the clay harder in the end. Fire and
a holy illusion. But we are the miners, we are the slaves. We need a voice that carries and saves. Tear down the bird, tear down the snake. We only need 22 sounds to make every word in the world, every thought in the head. 22 soldiers marching where they are led. The alphabet's blade. Outlet for the ox, bed for the house. Simple as a trap for a field mouse. No need for a temple, no need for a school. This is the weapon of the common fool. Tear down the bird, tear down the snake. We only need 22 sounds to make every word in the world, every thought in the head. 22 soldiers marching where they are led. The alphabet's blade. A is for the beginning, B is for the building, G is for the giving, D is for the door. Open the door. Open the door. Tear down the bird, tear down the snake. We only need 22 sounds to make every word in the world, every thought in the head. 22 soldiers marching where they are led. The alphabet's blade. Simple, sharp, cut, cut. The cedar wood smells of the Lebanon rain. We load the purple dye and the golden grain. But the heaviest cargo is light as a feather, binding the tribes of the world together. Raise the sails of ink, ride the wind of the word. Across the green water, let the voice be heard. From Tyre to Carthage, from Greece to the sand, we plant the letters in every new land. Sails of ink. We don't trade for glory, we trade for the coin. But we leave behind something the nations will join. A and B and C and D, singing the song of the open sea. Raise the sails of ink, ride the wind of the word. Across the green water, let the voice be heard. From Tyre to Carthage, from Greece to the sand, we plant the letters in every new land. Sails of ink. Empires will crumble, the statues will break, but the letters we carry no fire can take. It's the invisible net that catches the time, the true purple treasure, the ultimate rhyme. Raise the sails of ink, ride the wind of the word. Across the green water, let the voice be heard. From Tyre to Carthage, from Greece to the sand, we plant the letters in every new land. Sails of ink, sails of ink. To the west, to the north, the word The desert wind reads the wall, but I cannot. A library of kings in a land that forgot. The bird stares at me with a black stone eye, holding a secret that refuses to die. The great silence has fallen on the Nile. For 1,000 years, not a single mile of meaning, of sound, of breath, of name. The symbols are there, but they aren't the same. Just ghosts in the stone. Walk among giants who have lost their tongues. The air is heavy in our ignorant lungs. Is it magic? Is it a curse? Or is it a prayer? The meaning is hiding, but it isn't there. The great silence has fallen on the Nile. For 1,000 years, not a single mile of meaning, of sound, of breath, of name. The symbols are there, but they aren't the same. Just ghosts in the stone. Call it decoration, but it was a voice, a screaming, laughing, crying voice, silenced by the sand, silenced by the time. Has fallen on the Nile. For 1,000 years, not a single mile of meaning, of sound, of breath, of name. The symbols are there, but they aren't the same. Just ghosts in the stone.
silence. The stone is sleeping. First comes the tongue that we know and we speak, the words of the Ptolemy, the words of the Greek, a bridge from the present to the past unknown, carving the logic into the black stone. Then comes the script of the people, the flow, the ink on the papyrus, the way that we go, the hand of the clerk, the hand of the street, where the high and the low are destined to meet. And finally the gods, the pictures divine, hidden for ages in the sacred line, waiting for the key to turn in the lock, to release the spirit from the granite block. Three voices, one stone. The code is broken, the truth is shown. Champollion's dream, the puzzle is done, the shadow is lifted by the rising sun. We can read, we can hear. Cleopatra, Ptolemaeus. The names in the cartouche ring the bell, breaking the silence, breaking the spell. It started with mud and a broken reed, a desperate hunger, a human need to say I was here before I am gone, to pass the torch before the dawn. From the granite walls to the paper scroll, from the printing press to the binary soul, the hand is the same, the mind is the same, playing the eternal memory game. We are still writing on tablets of clay, but the clay is made of light today. The stylus is a finger, the ink is a spark, lighting a fire in the infinite dark. Silicon clay. Zeros and ones in a cloud of glass, watching the centuries slowly pass. Gilgamesh is dreaming on a screen of blue. The old ghost stories are becoming new. We are still writing on tablets of clay, but the clay is made of light today. The stylus is a finger, the ink is a spark, lighting a fire in the infinite dark. Silicon clay. Don't let the